At the end of 2019, a pandemic of an infectious disease called coronavirus has appeared in the world. It has affected 215 countries and territories around the world, with more than 80 million people infected, including more than 600,000 deaths.
International tourism is among the economic sectors most impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Most destinations were entirely closed in April and May 2020, opening only in some regions slowly for the northern summer. The United Nations World Tourism Organization estimates a lot of 850 million to 1.1 billion international tourist arrivals, $910 million to $1.1 trillion in export revenues, and 100 to 120 million jobs, depending on whether the borders are opened in July, September, or December. United Nations World Tourism Organization projections reflect considerable uncertainty about the duration of the pandemic, in addition to the government response to support economic activities. In each scenario, annual tourism expenditure is reduced as a productivity shock. The shocks are proportionate to inbound tourist expenditure, shown earlier in Figure 1 for selected countries. Industry output is reduced by a third, two-thirds, and almost all of this amount in the three scenarios respectively. The national effects on output and consumer take into account inputs in the tourism sector such as food, drink, and transport.
France is one of the most badly affected countries and has experienced an economic downturn, especially the tourism industry. And now, a general situation of French tourism industry. Tourism plays an important part in French economy, with 9.7% of GDP coming from tourism. Before coronavirus, in 2018, France welcomed nearly 90 million foreign tourists, and revenue from tourism were estimated at over 57 billion euro. However, when COVID-19 broke out worldwide, the number of visitors dropped significantly by 30 to 40%. Because travel is one of the key contributors of carrying the virus around the globe, many countries all over the world, including France, have restricted people from traveling to their countries in order to reduce the number of infections. Therefore, the tourism industry got the hardest hit, cut to about negative 12.4%, with impacts on both supply and demand. Many tourists come.
Yeah, we think it's very sad too, because we wanted to visit. We already booked our trip in November, and then of course there was no news of Corona. Nobody knew what would happen, and we went anyway. But things seem to be getting much worse, so we're very concerned, yes.
I've just got an email that it will be closed from 6 p.m. and I had a ticket for 5:30. So I'm a bit disappointed because we just came here today.
The following is the supply for French tourism after COVID-19. Due to the complicated disease situation, many countries in the world have closed their international routes, which is a big obstacle for international tourists when they do not have convenient means to travel. In addition, French government has imposed a ban on entry and exit of citizens of several countries to reduce the spread of the coronavirus in the community. These non-price factors make the supply of French tourism decline, lead to the leftward shifts of the supply curve and change in the market equilibrium. Therefore, the quantity supplied to tourism in France decreased, and the price for traveling to this country increased. And now is the demand for French tourism after COVID-19. The outbreak of COVID-19 also changed the tourism demand for France in descending direction. French government has enacted a law that tourists from the epidemic areas must issue a 14-day quarantine order, which makes them uncomfortable to travel. Moreover, people are afraid of catching the disease if they go to a crowded place or mass tourism destination like France. With the impacts of the coronavirus in the economy, many people may have lower income or lose their job, so they don't have enough money to travel around. All of the non-factors make the demand curve shift to the left, and the equilibrium of the tourism industry in France change equivalently. As a result, both the price and the quantity demanded for French tourism decreased.
However, in the long run, tourism is expected to play a significant role in regaining the socio-economic stability. The European Commission published specific guidelines and recommendations on tourism to help European countries gradually lift travel restrictions, restore transport services, and reopen tourism businesses after COVID-19 is under control. A common European approach could help the tourism sector recover from the current crisis and give people the possibility to travel again safely. People from European countries can therefore enter French territory without restrictions related to coronavirus. France will also place tourism at the center of national recovery policies and action plans. By all of these ways, both supply and demand for French tourism will increase. They will raise the quantity supplied and quantity demanded, shift the supply and demand curve to the right, and lead to the change in the equilibrium.